On live. Shit, he's grabbing. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sports Rundown Betalong. How are you getting on tonight, guys?
Good buzzing, LB.
Yeah, good. Anyone who's watching us will see that things look slightly different tonight with the live action act. We've taken some feedback, so maybe hand over to you, Gary. You want to talk us through the new stuff we have on screen for anyone who's joining us who's not a first time viewer.
Yeah, so what we do here every Friday on Sports Rundown is we publish our bet on SportsRundown.com, so our website SportsRundown.com. So we publish it usually on a Thursday. Today's come out a little bit late Friday, and essentially we put €10 on that. And if the bet lands, we give it away to a viewer on the show. How to enter into that competition is you need to comment throughout the night. So it can be anything from what you were backing to a football related comment, a question around betting, anything you feel or you want to get out there, just interact with the show and you'll be into the draw. If our bet lands, then you will be in a chance of winning the cash. So our bet tonight is a treble, so Sint-Truiden versus Mechelen. We've gone for Tachi Hara to score anytime at 9-4, so that's LB's bet. For myself, I've gone for Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest to finish in a draw at 23-10. And then Slats has gone for the Carrick Rangers Linfield game for Linfield to win and both teams to score 11-5. So €10 on that returns €243, and that will go into the pot, as I said, for whoever gets interactive with the show tonight. Slats, you put the Carrick versus Linfield match in again. You're good last week when it was cancelled, were you?
Well, yeah, I mean, our treble did come off last week, but only as a double because my bet got postponed. But year two came in, so I think we had like a 21-1 treble, and with my leg taken out of it, it paid off an 8-1 double, which is still pretty decent. But disappointed because I was feeling confident in my leg, and the stats all looked good for it. And then there was some COVID cases in Linfield, and it meant the game was postponed. So yeah. Handy for me this week, they've rescheduled it for the same time, 7:45 today, GMT, so that'll be kicking off in the next 10 minutes, and there's obviously no reason to expect anything different that I did last week. The odds for Linfield, they had been 1-4 and they came into 2-5 because of a bit of uncertainty from the COVID cases that were in their camp, but I haven't seen anything around players missing from their squad tonight. I don't think it's going to have a big impact on them. And because the bet I've gone for is Linfield to win and both teams to score, I think it, even makes it a little more likely for the two teams to score. If they're, if Linfield kind of missed out on some training sessions or that sort of thing, maybe a player or two might be missing. But I still think they'll go on to win it. They're top of the table, joint top, so they still need to be winning these sort of games. Carrick are third from bottom. They're losing most matches, but they're scoring plenty. I think at home they've scored 8 in their last 4 home games or something. So at home tonight against Linfield, I definitely fancy them to get on the score sheet. Linfield have been conceding a few away as well, but I still just think Linfield are too strong and will go on to win like 3-1. That sort of scoreline. So 11-5 for Linfield to win and both teams to score just look very good. I was happy to take it for a little under 2-1 last week, and it's a little over 2-1 this week. So very pleased with that, and yeah, looking forward to getting underway.
Yes,
I think
that was
about
good.
3 of our games kick off at 7:45 tonight. So usually there's a bit of kind of disparity. We might have, if I go with the Dutch games, they might be well underway. They kick off at 7 p.m. and then we might have a 7:45 and an 8 o'clock kickoff. And there's, kind of different timelines that we have to have the bets coming in at. But tonight we're all going to be more aligned with 3 kicking off at 7:45. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that plays out as well.
Yeah, definitely. So my bet, the logic behind the draw that I went for in the Sheffield United and Forest game, I think they're 2 really evenly matched teams. Both teams are going for promotion, so there's only 2 points between them in the league. If Forest win, they move into the playoff spots, and similarly to Sheffield United, if they win, they'll move into the playoff spots as well. But if Forest lose, they're kind of facing a really uphill battle. They'll go like 6 points away from the playoffs, and that's going to be tough to pull back given the teams that are around them. So I think both teams are going to go into it as a must not lose game rather than a must win game. And as I said, I can see it. The reverse fixture finished in a 1-1 draw. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up that again. So the draw for me stuck out as a good price. I have got a bet builder which I tempted people on Twitter, and I'll walk through it in a couple of minutes, just as the game is kicking off.
You told us that during the week, and I told myself I will 100% have that on before we get to Friday night. And now I have
the exact same
struggle when you two are talking to try and get this on myself because I don't have it. But yeah, my bet tonight is a slightly different one. I think I've had a bit of luck with the winners in Belgium the last few weeks. I think I've got them all right so far in 2022, but this game is just way too tough to call. Mechelen and Sint-Truiden. So Mechelen make the short trip down, but it just they're really, really tight. They both have kind of patchy form against teams around them in the table, and a very important match. I probably could be tempted to go the draw like you, Gary, but I'm just going to stay away from that. I can't really cheer on draws myself. And so I've gone with Hara. He's probably the main man for Sint-Truiden, part of a surprisingly big Japanese contingent there in Belgium. But so he's 9-4 any time. I've actually got a bet builder on with both of the Japanese centre forwards. So Hara and Hitachi both to score at 11-1 as well. Actually, for some reason, I have a feeling this game is going to be 2-2 at the end. So I'm just going to get that out there so I can brag about it later if it does happen. So yeah, we got that treble on, and as the guy said, we'll put that do a tenner on that, and we give that to someone who is the most engaged commenter across the 3 different platforms we have here. So usually at this stage we're scrambling to get through the information because the games are all underway, but it's actually a bit of a quiet start tonight.
I'm just scrambling to get Gary's bet builder on.
Yeah, Albie, do you want to flick that up on screen and I can walk the viewers through the bet builder?
Yeah.
So essentially, I mentioned in the article Brennan Johnson. So he's like a 20-year-old Welsh striker, and he's kind of having a breakout season. So the Forest main striker got injured in January, Lewis Graben, and Brennan Johnson has kind of taken his place. So he stepped in with some crucial goals. He scored in 4 of his last 6 games and 6 of his last 8. He was 7-2 for 2 shots on target. Thought that was a massive price, so I've thrown that in. The second leg is Morgan Gibbs-White to be booked. So Gibbs-White is on loan from Wolves. And he played a couple of games for Wolves at the start of the season and was booked once. I think he played 3 or 4 games, was booked once. But he's been booked a further 5 times in the Championship and sent off another occasion as well. And he was priced up at 9-2 for a booking. So I just thought that was big, considering he's midfielder. Forest are a decent side, decent midfield. It's going to be a real battle in there. So he's going to have to put in a few challenges. So I thought that was good. And I've thrown in over 10.5 corners. No real science behind that. Just think this is going to be a fairly cagey game. And to me, that usually results in corners. So a tenner on that treble pays 75-1. So tenner pays 760 back, which I think is way overpriced for the treble. Obviously, waiting on people to be booked can be a bit of a wild card, but we've had a lot of success in recent weeks, and I said 9-2 for the Gibbs White just seemed way too big. So yeah, that's the one I've gone for, and obviously I put that on. yesterday. So the kind of gamble you take there is that the players mightn't play, but Johnson is starting up front for Forest, and Gibbs White is starting centre midfield for Sheffield United. So both of them are starting, and hopefully they'll get 90 minutes to try and get through.
I've literally just got that on there now, and it's saying 1 minute to kick off, so I'm happy enough with that. It sounds decent. Like, you've been making great shouts with the yellow cards. The odds on Johnson, like from what you've described as him, 7-2 seems, class for 2 shots on target. He doesn't even need to score, just get a couple of shots in. And I didn't roll the dice on your corners of the last few bet builders, but it walked, and I think it was in nearly at half time. I think you needed 11 corners, and there were 10 in the first half, so I'm not going missing out on that leg again this time.
Yeah, that was class. Yeah.
All or nothing.
Who Gary, just remind me again, who's and I know it should be on the screen anyway, but I can't see it at the moment, the player to get booked?
It's Morgan Gibbs White for Sheffield United.
Oh, yeah. Nice. He's one of the highest priced in the game.
Yeah, and that's why it stuck out to me. Like I said, he has the 6 bookings and a sending off this season, and in all games he's played. So I think he's played for Wolves and for Sheffield United. He's played around 22 games. So it's kind of averaging a card every 3 matches. But I think this job against one of the top teams, it's kind of one that he could get booked in. And Forest have a decent midfield. Your man Jack Colback, who's in there, he likes to throw around the tackles. So he's another one for a booking angle, but I think he was about 6-4. So I just went for the juice rather than kind of the banker one. But I think Colback is another one if you want to do like a really enhanced same game multi, I'd throw him in. That's kind of a banker of it.
I'll stick with the 70-1 odds for now anyway.
I realised I put it on. I've put in 11.5 corners, so I could be in, lined up for some incredible heartache later now until you win it with.
Exactly 11 corners.
Yeah.
What means lads celebrating and you're just there crying,
smashing up the laptop here on air. I've got the intermatch on here. It's about to kick off. So pretty good time to run through it. So our Italian experts in SportsRunDown.com on the Serie A, he's got a fancy in this game tonight, which is basically the fancy is both teams to score. Inter about 1-8 to win this. It's Sal have been pretty terrible since they came back up, since they came up to the Serie A, and it looks like they're going to be going down. Inter are right in the middle of the title race, but he fancies both teams to score. And we were talking about it during the week, and I'll pull up the stats after he said it. I think they've scored in their last 6 and maybe 7 of their last 8 Serie A games. So it's not a ridiculous call, but it moves it from 1-8 to 5-2 for Inter to win and both teams to score, which is a crazy increase. And I've never seen both teams to score as highly priced. It's 13-8, which must be the highest ever BTTS I've seen. But even the Inter to win on top of that is actually not a bad increase from 13-8 to 5-2. So all in all, it's a pretty valuable looking bet to me, and we've got it on here. So I'll be cheering on any Sal goal to start things off.
That's a massive increase considering. Is it 1-8 there to win the game out?
Yeah, 1-8, and then 13-8 for the other one, and then the combination is 5-2, which I think is great.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah. So, and then I'm going to be watching the Belgian match on the side here. I think I've kind of mentioned it in the article, and I mentioned it when we were talking a few minutes ago. But the amount of Japanese players for Sint-Truiden is actually wild. Up until a few weeks ago, they had 7 players, and a lot of them are regular starters. Now, Kagawa say the other midfielder, he's left, he's gone back to the J-League, but they still have a sub-goalkeeper and 5 starting outfield players from Japan, which is got to be close to a European record.
Linfield just scored 4 minutes into the game. So
nice.
That's a pretty decent start.
Good start, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't have minded a Carrick goal, but so much time left. Definitely happy for Linfield. I guess because there was that element of risk that they had drifted from 1-4 to 2-5 with the COVID cases there was a little bit of risk behind it. So definitely more comfortable seeing them get out in front. Plenty of time for few more goals, but that's a good start. Night off to a good start.
Yeah, we commented on YouTube from our regular contributor PK, who says Dumfries is definitely getting a shot on target tonight, and that seems pretty inevitable the way things went last week. So I like Brozovic. I often find in sort of difficult games, Brozovic does quite well for Inter. And if Sal are going to play as if their futures depend on it, then maybe he might be the one to break them initially. So I like him for a shot on target. I think he's a crazy price. He's outside 8 to 1, I think, for 2, but he's a good price for 1 as well. So
that's ridiculous. I did put Dumfries when you have my bets up on screen, people will see, but I did put Dumfries in 2 shots on target this week because he let us down last week. So I was like, I'm definitely getting on to my second bet. But just a quick update on so Slats' game, Linfield obviously started really good with a goal. The bet builder started tremendously well. Brennan Johnson had a shot on target after 50 seconds, and the keeper saved it and put it out for a corner. So one corner and 1 shot on target. There's a minute and a half on the clock, so you don't get that too often. So
no, we just need him to score from the corner and then take his shirt off celebrating. And it's the other good. I know we don't get that. Actually, though, we're looking for the 2 shots. An early goal can completely change a game sometimes. So it's probably better that he didn't even score it and that it was just a shot.
Exactly, but I can't see him not getting the 2 shots on target now. So it's really just down to the double of the cards and the booking the booking and the corners for 76 to 1 or 75 to 1. So
yeah,
I didn't place any other bet myself that we're going to be putting up on screen, but I'm going to have a look at a few in-play bets. The Dutch league is just going into half-time for the matches there, so we've about six or 7 games going on there. I'll be keeping an eye on those, and might put together some sort of second half in-play bet if anything jumps out.
Look forward to getting that on as well. Very scrappy start in the Serie A match here. Nothing really to talk about. There was an injury and then an offside, and it's just taking ages to get going.
Yeah, those slow starts can be annoying. The Forest game here has started really, really lively. Forest have had 2 chances, and then Sheffield United went on the break. So we're 3 minutes in, and both teams are kind of attacking. I said I thought it was going to turn into a cagey game, but it doesn't seem that way. But for, I suppose, the neutral watching in, it's going to be a decent game of football. So
yeah, the other EFL game, the Huddersfield match, I know you didn't take it. It's already 2-0, just 7 minutes in. 2-0 Huddersfield, so big start there.
Yeah, Huddersfield were heavy favourites there. They weren't not as heavy as Inter are, but I think they were like 2-5 or something like that. So I expected they'd win, but like 2-0 up after probably 5 minutes is a ridiculous start for them.
Yeah.
I think it's fairly unfair that like Peterborough had to play Manchester City during the week. So they played on Tuesday night in the Cup, and then they're scheduled for a Friday night game. You think that they would have given them the extra day's rest to play on Saturday, whereas strangely Nottingham Forest are also through in the Cup, but they don't play till Monday, so they're playing tonight and then
That's
Monday,
ridiculous.
So, it's a bit unfair on Peterborough. So I'm not surprised they've gone down early.
It's because I know a lot of other countries, like I know Spain and France, like they make huge effort to, give teams the best schedule they can give them. Like when their teams play in Europe and stuff, they'll always play, as far away as possible from their game. If they have a Tuesday game, they'll move their game to the Friday night beforehand and all that. But the English setup just doesn't seem to want to do that. They just.
I was actually talking about this the other night because West Ham are playing Sevilla next Thursday, and Sevilla are playing tonight. So their game was moved to Friday night. So they don't play till next Thursday. But West Ham have to try off. So it just, and especially with the away leg as well, so it just shafts the team. Like West Ham have to travel to Liverpool, play the match against one of the top teams in the league, travel back, and then go to Spain afterwards. So, as you said, it just they don't help the teams whatsoever.
No, like in Spain, I know for a fact what they do in Spain is they ask the team. So they'll say to them, "What do you want?" And they want a Friday game, so they get a Friday game. Do you know what I mean? It's really, it's so different.
Yeah. It hasn't really shown. I suppose it does show in the Europa League. They've won it a lot. But I mean, it seems a bit ridiculous, as I said, from a Peterborough perspective, for them to be playing Friday night after playing Tuesday night as well. Like, there's no need for it,
Yeah. People talk about it, and then it fades away, and then someone gets injured, Like somebody, Declan Rice might play and you get fatigued and he'll pick up an injury then or something, and it'll be in the news for a few days and then it just fades away again. There seems to be no appetite to change it, but maybe with the the kind of half winter break they have now, maybe it's going to start changing.
But isn't the UK schedule, like, planning that out from the start of the season, isn't it meant to be one of the most complex things, like, working out every arrangement where certain teams have to be away if other teams in the same town as them are home, and teams that share pitches with other teams and in other sports and everything? Isn't it a whole big, like a town planner needs to get involved to
Really?
Yeah, it's meant to be a massively complex arrangement every season. So, like, that might be part of the reason why they're very rigid on kind of, they don't maybe have the flexibility that other countries do.
Yeah, I read that previously, lads. But they've no problem changing it if BT Sport or Sky Sports want to see Super Sunday, that way. So I can understand there being a few constraints, but it just seems like they clearly don't want to help the teams out. Like, it's just what's going to get us the best viewing figures across the board, especially in the Premier League. Obviously, that wouldn't be what's dictating Huddersfield playing Peterborough at 7:00 on a Friday, but there aren't that many EFL fans like me out there that'd sit and watch it.
Sal are actually looking really good in this against Inter here, so pretty positive start for the both teams to score, backers. So again, anyone who follows Enzo on SportsRunDown.com or listen to us at the start of the show, still in the 8 minutes in, but they're certainly not under the cosh. So a nice promising start there. After a slow few minutes, it looks to be opening up as well. So very happy with that.
I'm going to get on a bet in play here. Oh, it's just gone suspended. Oh no. Damn, I'm too late. Never mind. I was going to go for the women's Dutch football, but Ajax were looking very likely to be scoring another few goals, and they've just gone up 2-0. After they went up 1-0, they just had so many shots, and it was 6-4 for another 2 goals. It's like 67 minutes gone. But yeah, it was looking likely, but that's dead now. So go back to the drawing board and see if anything else jumps out. Just looking at the Northern Irish game, it didn't. Bet365 didn't add it until very late. Like, it was already 1-0 before the market even opened on Bet365. So their stats are, they're showing 0 shots, even though Linfield are up 1-0. So hopefully they'll start giving accurate stats on it, because Betfair weren't really given much to go on either. So it's going to be difficult to track how that one's going if Bet365 don't start giving me some in-play stats on it. Doesn't seem to be
a Northern Ireland TV subscription that you can watch it on.
Unfortunately, I haven't subscribed for the Northern Irish Premier League.
You've been waiting 2 weeks to watch the game.
I'll try to get that sorted for my next bet. Still working on getting the Dutch Erste Divise subscription set up. So
that honestly, think something like that. A goals review show of Dutch league would be mental on a Friday night.
Oh yeah, because you know what, the Belgian version of Sky Sports, they have a thing. I guess it's similar to your NFL Red Zone, Gary, where it's just when all the matches are on, it just cuts between the best moment in all the matches, like when they're all live. If you had that for the Dutch football on a Friday night, it would just be endless. It was just unbelievable.
We actually don't want that, because all our viewers would be leaving us to watch the.
We should do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep that in the download. We won't be sharing any of this video with the Belgian FA.
No. This game in Belgium is all Mechelen so far. Sint-Truiden haven't done a huge amount. So yeah, nothing really to report there. Very different kind of feel when you're cheering on an anytime goal scorer than the results that I usually pick. So
you just don't want them getting booked, injured, or just playing crap.
Just anybody who tuned in last week will know that I put Shelbourne in as my bet, and they got the job done. I landed some pretty big. I think it was 9-4. We backed them at last week. I'm just going in to check what price they are because I'm watching the game here. They were definitely outside, so they're playing at home to Derry City. And I didn't put them in or didn't even look at the game because I expected Derry to kind of blow Shells away. They're like, I suppose, the title contenders, and Shells would be happy just to kind of stay in the league. But Shells are 5-2 at the minute, and about 12 minutes into the game. And from what I've seen, like, there hasn't been really any clear-cut chances, but it's been at least 50-50. So if they drift further than 5-2, I think they might, like, if they start getting 7-2 about them, it'd be a very, very good bet. So as I said, I'll keep an eye on how the match is progressing and the odds, but it's just one to keep an eye on.
What do you reckon? Around half time they'll go out to that? Maybe 35 minutes, Gary?
Yeah, like, I mean, definitely half time. If it's still 0-0, they should drift a bit more, I would say. But they're very much holding their own. And but for a couple of kind of bad bounces of the ball, they could have been in a couple of times. Derry had a half chance, but nothing clear cut. So I said it's less than 15 minutes into the game, so it's not much to be holding your hat on. But I'll keep an eye on it because they're looking to bounce back off a disappointing draw on Monday night.
Do you know, I'm going to back both teams to score now on that, based on what you've just described. There's not a lot of liquidity on the exchange, but it's outside 2-1. I mean, it's 2.9 versus 3.1 on the exchange. So
I think that's a very good bet.
That seems like a decent
I'm doing
shot.
that actually. Yeah,
going to tell that as well.
I'm going to put it in for 2-1. Hopefully, get matched.
Oh, you're doing it on the exchange, are you?
Yeah, I'm actually tempted to do it in a double with this Serie A match, but I'm very heavily invested in the Serie A, so it's going to do a double on the both teams to score. It's the first time, Gary, Shells have been back in the Premier Division and you're not incredibly bullish on them. Usually it takes about 7 or 8 losses before you count them out of the title race, but you've got a different approach this time and you're just...
No, well, you know, it's like, I mean, I don't mind losing my own money on them and knowing that it's blind loyalty. But when you're recommending a bet to someone else, you kind of need to be sure that it's a decent bet. So, yeah, I like I said, the way the game started has surprised me. But before the game, I was happy enough to leave it alone and just watch it. So,
at the risk of spending the next 2 hours talking about Shells, what do you think of the way they've recruited and the change of management and all that? Yeah, I mean, well, I know you're happy with it, but you want to give us your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so obviously for like a lot of people watching in probably wouldn't be familiar with the League of Ireland. So I'm a lifelong Shelbourne fan, and we've been in the news a lot recently because Damien Duff was appointed our manager in the summer. The way the League of Ireland works is like most players are on just 1 year kind of seasonal contracts. So a lot of the players have left from last season. I'd say there's probably a handful, maybe 4 or 5 that have stayed over. A lot of new players have come in. One of the most exciting players was Jordan McAniff. He's the Arsenal player we got on loan, LB. But he came to Shells to see could he get game time because he was getting a lot of injuries. And he's picked up an injury on Monday night. So I haven't seen the news of how bad it was, but that's a little bit disappointing that he got an injury. Apart from that, like I said, the players are all young, all technically good. Shells have been playing some decent football to start the season. So I'm hoping that's going to continue. Really like the player that we sponsor, Ave Dervin. I think he's going to be a really, really good player in the league. He's only 21 years of age. He's kind of a defensive midfielder, but he's got a good bit about him. Like, he likes to get into a tackle, but comfortable on the ball. So happy we're sponsoring him. And
we probably don't make a big enough deal of that, the fact that we're sponsoring that player, but yeah.
So if you go onto the Shelbourne website, you can see his profile, and he got Player of the Year for Longford, who got relegated last season. So that kind of shows the caliber of player he is when you're a 21-year-old and you're getting Player of the Year for your team. It's a fairly good
I think you mentioned there about the technical standard. I think anyone who's not familiar with the League of Ireland and doesn't watch much of it and probably buys into the hoofball stuff that you see in the papers, I think anyone who's started watching it now will be quite surprised at the level that they play at. I think it's probably a lot higher than people give it credit for. Obviously not the people that watch it, but the people that just roll their eyes at it and don't really watch it should probably give it a shot, because it's it's easy to forget it, but it's a very high standard.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's only getting better. A little bit of funding money starting to go into the league as well. So I think really what they need is TV rights, and if they get TV rights with a big package or a decent package, it could be a very good product.
And just before we move off the League of Ireland, Waterford have just taken the lead away to Galway in the first division. So,
as a Waterford fan, I was just going to ask you if you fancy them. I'd seen they were evens away from home, but you'd be expecting that they're going to, be in the title race there this season.
Oh, they're quite by a distance the favourites to get to win that the division. I did actually consider backing them. They weren't evens when I saw them. They were a good bit inside it, but they've obviously drifted a little bit. But now they're 1-3, so got to stay away from that. The Serie A game is kind of swayed a bit. It's all been Inter. So the whole time you were talking there, it's been only Inter. So dominant few minutes there from the champions.
I saw the stats are showing though that Salnernitana have had 3 shots already.
They had them early
on, right? Yeah. But like in terms of, because I only tailed your bet, your suggestion of Inter and both teams to score, it's nearly 2-1 now. I think it was 7-4. I got on that at just when I saw those stats. Definitely they're in with a shout of getting on the score sheet, and Inter dominating obviously. So, be keeping an eye on that. But I think there's good value there for sure.
Speaking of keeping an eye on things, the bet builder is going tremendously well.
I noticed 6 corners, Gary, is it?
Stats will have to pull me out of the river tonight if it finishes on 11 corners. I'll tell you that.
So
you're looking safe enough.
It's like 18 minutes in. The player, the striker, Brendan Johnson, he's had 1 shot on target, and we need 2 shots. And then there's been 6 corners, and myself and Slats need 11. You need 12. So for less than 20 minutes into a game, that's a decent return so far. So I mean, if we got a Morgan Gibbs White booking relatively soon, we'd be in dreamland. So looking forward to it. Sure.
Has he been showing the boot in? Anyway. Has he been showing the boot in or throwing a few shoulders in so far?
Not yet, but it's a little bit touchy now. And I'm happy with how the bet has gone so far anyway. So
I just see we have a comment in on Facebook from James. So welcome back, James. Good to have you. I've obviously not been around for the last couple of streams, so good to see you back. He's just asked what the bets are. So maybe Gary, you want to talk us through that bet builder that you just mentioned for anyone who's just joined us. We can just give a recap of the bets.
Yeah, so the bet builder put on, and we kind of had out there at the start of the stream, is in the Sheffield United Nottingham Forest game. So it's Brennan Johnson to have 2 shots on target. He has 1 on target so far. Morgan Gibbs White to be booked. He hasn't been booked yet, but it's still early on in the game. And then over 10.5 corners. And as we're saying, it was less than 20 minutes in, and there's been 6 corners so far. So €10 on that pays €760. It's going ridiculously well at the minute. So happy with that. And then Abby, I don't know whether you want to just flick over to our all action ACCA, because that's going relatively well as well. So in that treble, we have the Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest game to finish in a draw. It's still 0 after 20 minutes here, and it's pretty end-to-end stuff, pretty even. So I would expect that the draw has a decent chance of coming in. We have Linfield and So what's the name of the team slots?
Carrick Rangers.
Carrick Rangers. I was going to say Clifton, though. I knew it wasn't them. Yeah, so Carrick Rangers, Linfield. So Linfield to win and both teams to score. It's the second leg. And then...
that's currently 1-0 to Linfield.
Yeah, and then in the Sint-Truiden KV Mechelen game, we've Tachi Hara to score anytime at 9-4. That's 33-1, and that's our treble for the All Action Act tonight. So if you comment in on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, you go into the draw for the 33-1. So we'll be giving away €340 if that bet lands at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Has there been any more chances for Hara or just Sint-Truiden and Truiden in general in that game, LB? Or how's that been going?
No, it's been pretty much all Mechelen, so nothing really to celebrate there. Actually, Sint-Truiden got the ball. They had a bit of a run, and one of the Mechelen players hacked them down. Got a bit kind of everyone pushing each other, and a bit of pushing and shoving, but came to nothing then in the end. So 24 minutes in, still 0-0 there. And Salnernitana hit the crossbar in the Serie A match. Didn't score, obviously, but getting closer and closer.
God, it would be class if they didn't score.
And Inter scored. Unless surely this is offside. Martinez, who I'm not a huge fan of, but he was wildly unmarked in the middle of the box. The ball got played through and he just tapped it in. So 12th goal of the season for him there, and 1-0 Inter after 20 minutes.
Probably would have been beneficial. So we're on Inter to win and both teams to score. Inter were massive odds on just for the win, but for both teams to score, it was. I'm not sure what you got it on. I got it about 7-4 in play.
I was actually going to say, so obviously it must have been a good start for Sal because they were 13-8 for both teams to score, and then it went into evens at one point, 10 minutes into the game.
Really,
and started drifting again. So I guess they weren't expected to have 3 shots in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, no, it didn't look that way. But do you think going down 1-0 is, might kind of be a knock to their confidence a bit or do you think maybe they, just kind of go hell for leather now, take a few risks and
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing for them to defend here, so I'd be more concerned if it was 0-0 after like 55 minutes and they had something to hang on to.
Yeah, right.
That goal has stood. I still don't know how he wasn't offside. He was quite a distance. It looked somebody must have played him on, and then he scuffed his shot and kind of caught the keeper out, which is a classic L'arturo goal, really.
It looks like there's up to 8 corners now in that Sheffield United Nottingham Forest game.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Slats. It's
sorry,
incredible. 22 minutes gone and 8 corners. So LB should be fairly okay for your typo with the 11.5 or the 10.5, hopefully, anyway.
What did that boost your odds to, LB? So I know you got it at 77, not massive.
Yeah.
Well, but when I got on it was actually only 60-1. So I know you said, Gary, you backed it during the week and it was 70-1, but one of those markets must have come in a bit because it was only 60-1 when I got on it.
I'd say the shots on target when he was in this with the guys in the starting lineup, those kind of player markets tightened.
That was still 7-2 though. That was the only one I actually, and then the corners was even. So I was thinking it must have been the yellow card bet.
Yeah, it must have been the yellow card.
Yeah. James, you have to comment in with your bet. So you've got Inter 10+ corners, 2+ goals anytime by Inter, and Dzeko to score anytime. Is that 10 corners in the game or 10 corners for Inter?
I could ask the exact same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Inter corners or game corners, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can obviously back both, but there is markets for just backing.
They've had 3 anyway so far, 20-odd minutes in, so it's not...
and Salernitana haven't had any, so there's
Get to replay this, Slats, and see the Martinez shot. Actually, I hope a big Spanish club tries and buys him because he's going to be an absolute flop anywhere he goes.
He was really just like clinging on to Lukaku's coattails, like.
Yeah, big time. And now with Dzeko there, he's kind of the same thing. Like he just floats around. So 3 corners in after about half an hour. So that's not dead. That market. 2 goals obviously looks good, and then Dzeko's still odds on to score, so I like to look at that bet. 10+ corners for Inter, so okay, that's cool to know. But what odds is that bet builder actually, James? Interesting to see.
The Carrick Rangers Linfield game is suspended here. Oh no, it's only a yellow card for Linfield. So nothing really to report there. It looks like both teams have had a few attacks over the last 15 minutes or so, but they haven't been generating many shots as far as I can tell here. Linfield dominating a little, but Carrick definitely seem to still be in this game, so we still need both teams to score again. The 1-0 lead for Linfield is good because we need them to win the match, but just need goals from both sides now. So hopefully we get another before half-time. Still 15 minutes to go before half-time.
It's not one of our main games, but Lyon have just scored. They've gone 1-0 up away to Lorient. So I know Dermot, it wasn't one of his main bets, but he had mentioned that he thought maybe there was a home win, a bit of an upset on the cards. But Lyon have scored.
Do you know who scored, LB?
Give me 1 second, I'll find out for you.
Because in my second bet, I got the Dumfries shot, 2 shots on target, and Moussa Dembele, 2 shots on target.
No, it's not Dembele. I don't want to try to pronounce this guy's name. Favre, something like that.
Did you not go to French class in school? No,
I think my pronunciation was quite French there.
It mightn't even be French. We're just assuming that.
It does sound French.
What odds was Dembele 2 shots on target?
He was evens, I think, or 11 to 10. Now, I did it blind without checking if he was playing, so hopefully he's playing, and I never even checked that. I haven't got time earlier, but I see he's 10 to 3 for a shot on target in each half, which if he is playing is probably a decent bet. But I need to check and make sure he's on the pitch for that.
I'm looking at him here. No, he's on the pitch all right. No shots, but he's had 4 passes. 3 on 3 accurate. So he seems to be a bit of a passenger. It's only 15 minutes in though, so plenty of time. Not a bad price.
Yeah, the Forest and Sheffield United game is settling down a bit now. Like the first 25 minutes were just so end to end, but it's starting to calm a bit. I'd say the players are getting tired after just being so end to end for such a long time.
Good for a draw shout though as well, you know. Those kind of games would start out hectic and then calm down.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty rare as well that we've a bet builder and your treble pick that it doesn't need any goals. Like it just needs the shots in the corners, and it's not like a score draw. It's just the 0-0 would actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If the shots come, like it's pretty rare that, and it's not. We don't need a 0-0 either, so it's not like you're praying for no goals or under 1.5 or anything like that.
Yeah, Mechelen have just taken the lead, 1-0. So, that's not really being against the run of play by any means. It's not standard. Sint-Truiden had the ball, and the Mechelen left back just kind of kicked it over his head, and it kind of volleyed around the middle of the pitch for a bit. And it's a calamity of errors really after that for the home side. They had 4 defenders going back, just 2 Mechelen players got forward, and the Mechelen right back. The Sint-Truiden right back looked like he was going to leave it run out, and the Mechelen forward just slide tackled in and kind of not tackled anybody, just slid in and kicked the ball. The 2 centre backs had kind of slowed down because they thought the other guy was going to get the ball. One of the right back tried to clear it, kicked it past the keeper, and then the other Mechelen player just ran in and tapped it into an open goal. So absolutely shambolic there, really, from Sint-Truiden. Doesn't change our bet though, because we still need a anytime goal score or Hara. Very glad I stayed away from this win market though, because it was just it's a very tough game to call. It's been VAR reviewed, but it stood. I'm not even sure what they could possibly be reviewing, but it stood. So
it could be good for the bet just to get Sint-Truiden going a bit
out of their rush,
yeah, and like they have to get a few shots in, and they're going to be doing what they can to get the ball up to their forwards. Everything
about that goal looked like they were very complacent. They didn't really try very hard at any point in it. So 1-0 Mechelen.
I see James is back in on Facebook saying that the odds are 11 to 2 for that bet builder. So Which bet builder are you talking about, James? Is that the Nottingham Forest one? That
No, I think his own bet builder, Gary.
or his own bet builder? Okay.
Yeah,
He was trying to get on.
No, Dumfries, I know we mentioned him for a shot on target. If PK is still with us, he has it backed. He came within inches of getting a shot on target.
Yeah.
He was like a square ball inside the 6-yard box, and the Sal defender just nicked it off his toe. So really, really close to a shot there for Denzel Dumfries. I don't know, is it the way Inter play, or is it just a bit of bad luck? But he's always getting into the box for the national side, and a lot of headers on target. And then Inter tried to play it on the ground more, I guess, and he's in a bit of bad luck at the minute with the ball being taken off his boot.
Another shot for Salnernitana there. I don't know if you saw that one, but
I didn't actually know. I was watching. This must be it here.
Not a bad effort, and out for a corner.
Some ballerina feet there from the keeper.
Yeah.
Inter up to 5 corners now, though, which is good for you, James. Good start there.
Did we confirm, is that Inter corners or match corners?
Yeah,
Inter corners, yeah. Because, Salernitana obviously got 1 corner there, but 5 for Inter is good going. 30 minutes in.
It's got to my attention, by the way.
In the Forest game, potentially. Players go down the box, and I saw a yellow card being dished out. Norrington Davis off Sheffield United has been booked. Pity it wasn't Gibbs White. Brendan Johnson has taken it, so we just need him to get a shot on target. In order.
This has got it. Like anyone who's not used to the stream will not know, but we have an unbelievable record of missed penalties. Has he missed it?
Oh my God! It's possibly one of the worst penalties I've ever seen.
Tell me it was on target.
It was on target, but he basically just kicked it straight down the middle. He wasn't even trying to Panenka it. He was just trying to pass it into the goal, and he basically just kicked it straight at the keeper's head with no pace on it. So it's landed.
Did the keeper save it with his head?
Target, but it's an absolute dreadful penalty by him.
So as I was going to say, we have an unbelievable record of missed penalties on this stream. It's still got to be above 75-80%.
Incredible. And I still haven't, because we've talked about the Bet365 do a market on it, an in-play market as soon as the penalty is awarded, and it's 3-1 for it to be missed. I mean, we'd be millionaires if we were just,
Even just putting flat stakes.
With that on Facebook, he's just saying the pen unlucky streak continues with a smiley face. It's actually amazing, So
Linfield have just gone up 2-0. So that looks, very comfortable for them to go on to win the match. For the bet, we need Carrick Rangers to get in the score sheet as well. But I'm very happy that we got a second goal in. Either way, I would have been happy with a goal either way before half-time. It's 37 minutes gone there.
Our League One contributor Dermot has just come in, and he's just sent in a picture of a quote. Well, either side could win, or it could be a draw. The famous Ron Atkinson quote, and he said that's going to be his answer anytime I ask him about a Friday night League One game, because despite his incredible record of picking French bets, his Friday night record when we ask him when he's not picked the bet himself is a bit not great. So dangerous free kick here for Sal, but didn't make anything of it, and Dumfries is breaking away out of the box with the ball at his feet now. So I was going to actually say this when we were looking at that Belgian game and the 2 Japanese centre forwards. I don't know why, but Sint-Truiden, they seem to switch their kind of setup, not necessarily game to game. The coach, I forget his name, Hollerback or something, which is a funny name. Yeah, but and sometimes they play that Klaus, their number 9, as a centre forward, and the 2 Japanese guys play behind him and play off him. And when they do that, they tend to win. And then other times they play a different formation, and I don't know what way they do it with 2 up front, and Hayashi is in the midfield, and that's what they're doing tonight. And it's so poor though. I don't know why they do it. And so I'm kind of hoping they make a substitution now and change this game around and get those two Japanese guys playing behind your man Klaus, because this is pretty crap what they're doing at the minute. So that's where we're at. Just
not to, I'm going to brag for a second on this bet, just in case it doesn't land, but it's a 75 quid cash out so far on that bet builder. Like, I'm not going to cash out, obviously, but the 2 shots being in and 8 corners
On
already.
what stake, Gary, is the 75 cash out?
So it was a
50.
tenner to win 760.
100.
So yeah, getting about nearly a 7-1 cash out offer on it. So
Jeez, yeah, that is pretty.
For half an hour, like.
Yeah, no, that's a decent cash out in fairness, but you definitely you'd be so gutted if you took that now and it all came in.
Oh, 100%.
That'd be the only criteria for considering a cash out is how sick would you be if it actually ended up winning?
Would that, like, if you'd be more sick about that than if you don't cash out now and you lose the bet? Because and I don't think you'd be that sick. Fair enough, like 70 quid, if you put a tenner on any bet and it returns 70 quid, you're happy out, but you're not going to be gutted if you don't cash out and you don't get that 70 if it doesn't come off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like everything is in the bet's favor. So obviously the corners are there. The fact that there's been a yellow card already as well. So I find that the first yellow card is key in the game. You know,
it sets a precedent. Like if the ref has given one team a yellow for something and then the other team do something, he has to kind of be consistent about his bookings.
Exactly, and just as we said that, I think there's been another Sheffield United yellow card, but it's not our guy either. But again, two yellows after 35 minutes is
it's perfect. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Very dangerous free kick here now for Sint-Truiden. There's a big oafish centre back from Mechelen, Van Leberg or something like that, I think his name is. And the Sint-Truiden winger was through and he just kind of clumsily pulled him down. It was very, very clever and he got a yellow card. And now the ref, I think, the ref's going over to check it. This could be a red card for Mechelen, to be honest. And to be honest, I think it should be. It was cynical. It was not a dangerous foul by any means. It was just very cynical. And he could have been the last man, but it was outside the box. So if it is, he's going to get the red. Obviously, for us, if we want players, a red card here could be very useful.
It could be good, couldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but let me see it. No, it'd be very hard to upgrade this to a red. But either way, it's going to be a dangerous free kick for Sint-Truiden in a couple of seconds.
Just as you were speaking through that, LB, Moussa Dembele got his goal for Lyon anyway, so
saw they went up 2-0.
Yeah, so
I was just about to say to you that there's been a ton of shots in that game. When I looked at it, I think there'd been 15 shots and he had none of them, so I thought it was a bad sign, but looking better now.
Yeah, like I was already on him before kickoff for the 2 shots on target, but hopefully somebody watching in pull the trigger on that 100-30 for him to have a shot on target in each half, because that's a very live bet now.
I was going in looking at the Grass Chap against AZ in the Dutch 2 League, and the Grass Chap were odds-on favourites at kickoff. It's 66 minutes into it now. I was thinking now would be the time to pull the trigger on them. The stats, they've dominated, but they're still only 8-11 for the win. I thought they'd be above evens now to go on and win this game. If they drift by 7, it's 66 minutes now. If it's like 71, 72 minutes and they're still dominating like this, and it moves out to evens, I think I'm going to get on that. But, there's not huge value in it. I would have expected that to be at evens already. And you're obviously, just putting yourself more and more up against the clock the later you leave it. So, I don't know. I just feel like they're going to push on to win it. But I just feel like I should get better odds to back that happening.
Yeah, you need to get the value.
I'll give it a few minutes and come back to it. But yeah, that's in the Dutch Eerste Divisie. There's actually 2 games that are still 0-0. And Jesus, the other one, Volendam game, looks like there should be a goal or 2 there as well. So maybe I'll do a combination of those 2 games. The 2 basically backing that to be no 0-0s in the Eerste Divisie it's usually a safe enough bet.
What price is the double?
I haven't even looked. I mean, for a goal in the Volendam game, it's only 1-3 on Bet365 at the moment, and it's the same. Well, it's a little earlier in that game. It's just 63 minutes gone. You could roll the dice on 2 goals there at 13-8, but again, you're just kind of up against the clock. But yeah, I mean, the double there now, you'd be talking 6-4 anyway at the moment, so might be worth a shout.
2-0 Inter. Some guy, I don't know his name, scored it. definitely not a crap player anyway. We see it here.
That's actually
that's a really good goal, in fairness to Martinez. Ball played through the middle. Barella, I think it was, released a really nice pass, kind of split the two centre backs, and then Martinez held up the ball. Kind of the centre back stepped off him, and then he kind of shot from behind himself. The type of shot that always reminds me of Arshavin, when the ball is kind of behind him, rifled it into the bottom left corner. So really nice goal, 2-0 Inter.
Arshavin, I forgot that player existed.
Yeah.
Just haven't heard that name in so long.
I always pick those kind of, when you don't lift your foot back very high and just drill it. It kind of reminds me of him. 2-0 there, coming up on half time. So looking good for anyone who backed Inter at 1-8.
Sitting comfortable on that 2-0 lead now.
No, well, it brings your, you probably wanted to go 3 or 4-0 and then, solve here to get a kind of consolation goal for your both teams to score and Inter to win.
He's looking good for James, your bet as well. That's the 7 corners now for Inter. It's not even half time, so that's looking really nice.
What were the other legs of that?
Let me check it up on Facebook again. So we had Dzeko to score 10 corners for Inter to score 2 goals, and that's it.
Okay, so just need Dzeko to score on a few more corners.
Yeah, Dzeko. It's nearly the stage where Martinez could come off early if he gets his hat-trick, because he's already had 8 shots, Martinez, in 40 minutes. That's some going. So that dangerous Sint-Truiden free kick came to nothing. They played it short, and the guy he was passing it to didn't realise he was being passed the ball, and Mechelen defenders ran away with it. So 45 minutes gone, and the first of the 2 added minutes has just started.
Just bet that, if anybody's looking to have in the Sheffield United and Forest game, a stat just come up on screen there that the 2 teams, they're 3rd and 4th in the league on second half goals scored. So they both scored over 30 goals in the second half in their games this season. I think it was Sheffield United were 34 and Nottingham Forest were 32. So it's 9-4 for both teams to score there. You probably get a little bit higher if you wait till half time. But so those patterns are good to monitor. Had a good bit of success with those. So obviously I'm still hoping for the draw, but even that both teams to score wouldn't be backing against the draw, because it can be 1-1 or 2-2. So I said 9-4 is a decent price, but might get a bit higher as the halftime approaches.
PK's on YouTube commenting saying Dumfries is going to be his nemesis, which does seem to be the case. PK, he's let you down now. Well, I mean, there's still plenty of time.
Do you know what, though? The worry is, though, because he's a defender, he's not going to be getting forward if they get...
when they're comfortable.
Yeah. If you said this, Gary, I apologise, but your friend Brennan Johnson has had his second shot on target.
Oh, yeah, that was the penalty.
Oh, that was the penalty, the second one. Oh, yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Missed that.
I'm just going to pull the trigger on this Dutch double. So the Grass chap to win has just gone into evens. A goal in the Venlo-Volendam game is a little over 1-2. It's 8-15. So the double is just over 2-1 for a goal in the Venlo-Volendam game, and the Grass chap to win. And let me just look at the Grass chap stats again. So they've had 17 shots to AZ's 4, and 6 of them have been on target. They've nearly 2/3 of the possession, 9 corners to 2. They're just every one of those stats they're dominating. There's 20 minutes to go there, so
the thing is, it's halftime in Belgium, and they've played like some really, really happy-go-lucky kind of kumbaya music. I don't know, is it like the Sint-Truiden anthem? The crowd are just booing because of the not red card, so it's really weird. It's like happy music and absolutely vitriolic booing from the fans. It's great. Yeah, I might tail you on that double, slats.
Yeah, well, yeah. Venlo have another couple of shots there in the last minute or two, and they have a corner here, so
hurry up is what you're saying.
Hurry up. Yeah. We'll see. It looks like nothing's going to come of this corner anyway, but another shot on target, but they didn't score from it, so we'll probably have a bit of time. if you wanted to play it safe, you could just go for a goal in the grass chap game as well. But it just seems so likely that if there is a goal there, it's going to go to the grass chap. So yeah, given it's above 2-1 for that double, I do think it's good value. It's pretty rare that you see a 0-0 in the Dutch too, and both of those games have had plenty of chances. So
the thing is, any 0-0 in the Dutch too is also going to be a 0-0 at 70 minutes. So I feel like we're at quite a distance towards it.
That's true. I don't have the percentage stats of Dutch 2 games that are 0-0 at 70 minutes to go on to finish 0-0, but I think we're good. Just to update, the Linfield game is half-time now. They're up 2-0. It doesn't look as if Carrick Rangers have had a huge amount of opportunities, so the bet there is Linfield to win and both teams to score. And, obviously, so that's all we're really waiting on is Carrick Rangers to score. I don't see them coming back to 2-2 draw, but I definitely think the kind of risk there would be that they don't manage to get on the score sheet at all. Not sure what way I'd wanted to go. Maybe Linfield to score another couple of goals and then a late consolation might be the way that would happen. Carrick being at home, like, you'd still think they'll want to put in a bit of a performance for their home support.
I was just going to say, the fact that it's the home team that are down.
Yeah, they're not as likely to just pack it in, like.
No.
But yeah, I'll keep an eye on that one once the second half kicks off. But for now, I'm just going to be keeping track of these 2 Dutch games.
I called it out earlier on, but Shelbourne, so it's just approaching half-time at the moment, and they've drifted to 7-2. I can't see a reason why they should be 7-2 in this game, to be honest. So
you call that price exactly, in fairness to you.
Yeah, just pull the trigger on 7-2. They shouldn't be. There's 3 minutes to be added on, and it's 2.5 minutes into it, so it's just going on half-time now. But yeah, there's no reason why they should be 7-2 based on delay of this game. So
yeah. I see you commenting, James, again. You said that you need Sevilla to score. That's just, I presume, anytime score for Sevilla over 0.5 team goals, I guess, for a 4-fold win. So a nice one there. I think we're going to get you added to the WhatsApp group because I need to get these bets on myself earlier in the day. We have a Spanish expert on the site, Savage, and we asked him what his thoughts on that game were, and he said a low-scoring Sevilla win. So I wouldn't be worried about the time of that goal. It might come later. He didn't expect it to be a very open match by any means. So is that the market you've got there? Just 0.5 Sevilla goals, or is it a halftime goal? Or what's the thinking there? It must be coming up on halftime. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff, so
still 10 minutes, but it's yeah.
You asked about the Waterford match earlier, so that's they're 2-0 up now.
Really,
just gone half time, so that seems to be in the bag.
Yeah, they were evens for the away win, but I don't know what sort of standard Galway are at, to be honest. I know Waterford, you'd be kind of expecting that they're going to win most of their games this season. But yeah, looks comfortable now in hindsight.
I'm going to leave them off because they were looking great to stay in the Premier Division last season until we started backing them, and then they went free fall. So
we got a few wins out of them.
Yeah, we should get a couple at the start,
the
end of the summertime.
That big treble. What was the big treble we got in? It was like 60 or 70 to 1, I think, and it was half time, and you called 3 winners. They were all drawn at half time. And then Waterford went down 1-0.
Came back.
Came back.
Oh, yeah, that was unreal. That was the FAI Cup, I think.
Yeah.
That was class, yeah.
That was 45 to 1, I think, that treble.
Is that what it was? I thought it was even more than that, but yeah. Oh, do you know what it was? It was because when they went down 1-0,
we backed them again.
We reloaded and backed the double without them, thinking that one was dead. So then the double and the treble came in. Very nice payday that was.
Some serious after time in there for anyone who wants to watch it back.
Go back and watch our show, whatever the day it was.
Yeah.
It is a bit of after timing, but it was a good night.
Yeah. James, you're back there anytime Sevilla goal at 1-2. So that's a nice bet, actually. Because what were they, 10 to 11, I think, for the win. So not a huge drop there to get just any goal. I like that. The second Mechelen centre back got booked just before half time as well. So the 2 of them are booked, the 2 centre backs. So just shows you that there is a bit of threat in the box from Sint-Truiden. So hopefully now they shuffle up that formation at half time and get Hara and Hayashi more in the game. But really, Hara is all I care about at the minute. But
Yeah.
Sevilla are actually looking like a decent price at 6-4 to win that game. And Sevilla are second in the league, aren't they?
yeah,
Like, I mean, it is another one that's worth monitoring. If they get to half time, you might get 2-1 on them, which would seem a savage price. So I'm going to keep an eye on that.
I wonder, given Savage, our La Liga expert, was talking about, you were saying it'll be a low scoring win there for Sevilla. Like, you could nearly back a correct scoreline in that, could you?
what price is 1-0?
Let me see. I can never find that market on Bet365. I think you actually have to kind of type.
You just scroll down and then select the score.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah, it is about 9. Final correct score 1-0 Sevilla. It's only 3-1. Is that?
No,
that's not worth it compared to backing Sevilla straight at 6-4. Was it 7-5? I don't think there's enough added value there. I'm just backing 1-0 at 3-1. You'd be sick if they just went on 1-2-0 or 3-0.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Alaves are 18th in the league. Like, so I think there's enough juice probably in just the win market, without getting greedy.
Yeah, that is tempting though that you say. Yeah, I didn't realize Alaves were that far down the table. Yeah, second away to 18th. I do like those sort of markets.
So I'm going to be greedy and wait till half time. So it's 40 minutes gone now, so you can tell that just before half time there's going to be a goal. Like,
the stats are making it look like it's been a balanced enough half. I haven't watched any of it, but it's looking balanced enough. Alaves have actually had 6 shots to 4, so you know they're definitely in the game. But I guess the longer it stays in it all, the more likely it is for Sevilla to just kind of up a gear and you know, get a winner.
Yeah, I mean, well, both teams I suppose need a win. Alaves are in the relegation zone, so but you think Sevilla, you know, they have players fighting to be in the squad for the West Ham game next week in the Europa League as well. So
that's true. These Dutch games that I backed the double both are still 0-0. So we're up on 80 minutes in the De Graafschap game and 75 in the Venlo Volendam game. So yeah, starting to run out of time a bit there. Now there's still been plenty of chances. The Graafschap, well, they've just had a shot there now that I say it, but that's their first shot in the last 5 minutes or so. But both sides are having plenty of shots in the Venlo Volendam game. So I still actually think it's looking pretty good. I don't know if I'd be back in, you know, doubling down on it and putting more on it at this stage, but I still think both of those are quite likely to happen. That's the Graafschap to win and just any goal in the Venlo Volendam game. But yeah, we'll see. About 10 minutes or so left in each of them. So
I don't know what the odds are, but there's a guy for Sevilla, El Nesri, I think that Savage often raves about in the articles on SportsRunDown.com. He's just approaching even. He's gone back to 4-5, but he was 5-6 a second ago for a one shot on target. I might do that. Hoping that it opens up a bit in the second half. Trying to see what price James's bet is. The over 0.5 goals, team goals. $8 to 11 now for a Sevilla goal.
And what? Oh, it was 1-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't drifted that much, I guess, has it? For, you know, well, we're not quite half time, but a few minutes away. Yeah, I just think 6-4 for a Sevilla win is probably the best looking bet there. If they do score, you know, they're surely going to go on to win it. Graafschap are on another attack here now, so hopefully they another shot on target. Their stats are looking great, but they haven't found the net yet.
I feel with the Dutch lead, though, even 5 minutes to go, you'd still be confident enough that there's a chance they're going to pull him out.
Yeah, I mean, another shot here again. They're pushing hard for it, and both teams are going blow for blow in the Venlo-Volendam game. So, yeah, definitely looks likely that at least one of those is going to come in. And it's 11-10 now for a goal in the Venlo game, and it's 2-1 for the Graafschap to win. So, I mean, you could have a punt at either of them coming in, but I'd still think the double isn't a bad shout. Getting a little late for it now, but still a bit of time for our bet to come off.
Yeah, not worried about that, yes.
So the only thing when our treble bets that we're all kind of tracking kick off at the same time, it means we have to have the same halftime, 15 minutes of a bit of a lull in the entertainment and that. But they should be kicking back off soon enough now, shouldn't they?
And Slad, sorry, just apologies if you said this, but what did your game finish at halftime?
2-0 Linfield. So so I've them to win and both teams to score, and the win obviously looks in the bag now. The obvious risk, or the only real risk now, is Rangers not scoring at all, I think. I was saying that a while ago that I don't see them coming back to get a 2-2 draw out of this. It's more likely that they'll go on without scoring, but what we were saying is that because they're at home and playing in front of home support, they're less likely than an away team. Like, even if they feel the game is beyond them, you'd still expect them to put in a performance for the second half and push on and go for a goal. So, I mean, I'm comfortable enough. I was very happy that there were 2 goals in the first half to get the bet going. And I think Linfield will still play away and push for more goals. So, I'd be happy if Linfield go up 3 or 4-0 and maybe Rangers will get a kind of consolation goal late on.
It makes sense.
But I think we're looking all right.
You mentioned, Gary, that Sheffield and Nottingham Forest are 2 of the best teams for second half goals.
Uh-huh.
Would you be tempted to back goals in the second half here based on what you've seen?
Yeah, I think Forest could definitely score. If there's a team going to score, it would be Forest based on the first half, I would say. They just look a bit more powerful up front. But there have been chances for Sheffield United as well. So, if one team starts to go for it, then it definitely brings it into play. So I'm not going to back it myself because I'm hoping it stays 0 all and the odds. But I definitely wouldn't put you off it. So might be a bit of a cop out, but hopefully not.
So looking at over 1.5 goals there is 6-5. It's tempting, and keeps the draw in play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm going to pull the trigger on a Shelbourne and Sevilla double. So I'll just add up what it pays now. Sevilla is still 6-4, but I'm happy enough with that price. Shells are 7-2. So it's a 10-1 double. So I'm happy enough with that.
Yeah. We haven't really talked about it. I don't think any of us have bet on it, but there's that German game. It's just 10 minutes into the second half, and Arminia Bielfelf are losing at home to Augsburg. I think they were fairly big favourites, the home team.
I didn't think there was any massive favourite in that game. I think there's only a few places between them in the table as well, isn't there?
Was there?
I could be wrong about it now. It was early in the week that I looked at it, so I could be just totally misremembering it. But what way are the odds in it now?
8-1. 8-1 for a home win, 4-9 for the away win.
Yeah, that would suggest that Arminia were favourites at kick-off. Oh, it's suspended
It's just
now.
gone suspended.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like an Augsburg attack there, but I don't know. It's hard to judge what that suspension is for. Might be clear in a minute, maybe a card or something. The Linfield game has kicked off again, so we're just cheering on a Carrick Rangers goal there for our treble. So I'll keep you updated. It's still 2-0, but it's only 2 minutes into the second half now. The Graphs chap who I backed about 15 minutes ago to go on and win this game. They've had 23 shots now, 10 of them on target, and like a good chunk of those have come in the last 15 minutes or so as well. But there's only 2 minutes left to go now. It's like the 80, just come on up to the 89th minute. So kind of running out of time there. Hopefully get a bit of injury time. They're putting on a lot of pressure, but maybe if there's a bit of injury time, it'll give them enough time to do the business. And the Venlo game, still 0-0, but again, the shots keep coming there. There's been 15 shots on target and another 11 off target between them. Still 5 minutes to go there, so keep an eye on that as well. But yeah, kind of running out of time a bit here.
Feels like some long 10 minutes since you said it. Or no, you said it 70 minutes.
70. I know it's been a bit longer than that. I mentioned it a little before it's 70, but I was holding out for the Grass chap to move to evens, so it was about 71 or 72 minutes I got on it. Yeah, they're on another attack here, so hopefully they manage. Hopefully their 24th shot of the game will be the one that hits the back of the net.
Yeah, definitely. We're back underway here in the Sheffield United Forest game. I'm actually a bit worried about the corner, so I'm hoping we just get those corners in straight away and don't have to kind of stress after, because in my head I'd kind of chalked it down as a winner already, so that would just be painful. But Sheffield United went straight on the attack, came to nothing, but kind of opens up that goal angle that we were saying. They'll be given that like they weren't just tip tapping around; they went direct route one. Ball broke out, and the striker was just going through, but he slipped and lost control. So it was 40 seconds into the second half. Oh, as I say that, Forest have just got a corner, so that's.
So it's only one more needed now in pretty much 45 minutes.
Two more.
One more exactly.
Second half is just underway in the Serie A. Nothing happened. A couple of seconds in Belgium, and it's all been Mechelen. So that Sint-Truiden run before half time, that momentum is definitely gone, and Mechelen have the ball now.
But they're up against 10. Like, it's strange that Mechelen are even going for that, right? I mean, they're leading.
Oh, no, it didn't turn into a red card.
Oh, sorry. I missed that.
No, sorry, apologies. He went to review it. We actually got sidetracked, so all he ended up doing was booking the manager for giving out.
Okay, right.
But
I think it was just wishful thinking. I just heard it. Oh, there could be a red card here, and I was like, yes, we've got a red card.
I thought it would have been based on the initial viewing of it, but when you see the replay, it
would have been soft.
Like. Yeah, it would have been very soft, and it was. You couldn't really make the chance that it was denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity.
Fair enough.
Back underway in Shelbourne as well, and they've had a decent attack in the first kind of 20 or 30 seconds of the second half. So fingers crossed we can get a goal there.
4 minutes injury time added in the Grass chap game, but it's already 2 minutes into it. So that's looking a bit dodgy now.
Starting to worry.
Starting to lose faith now that one's going to go in. But yeah, I mean, they'll get another attack, maybe 2 more attacks, maybe 1 more shot. Maybe that'll be the one. But then, yeah, the Venlo Volendam game is still in a lot as well, going into the 89th minute, so not looking great there.
Bad news for James here. Even Dzeko looks like he could be injured. He might just be hamming this up, but I think he got stepped on the inside of the ankle. So he's back up now, but let's see. Right. With the game as good as in the bag, he might get taken off. Hopefully not, but something to keep an eye on. Sint-Truiden playing their way back into this now, starting to look a lot sharper. They were 9-1 briefly during half time. It didn't quite tempt me, but I'll keep an eye on that if they keep playing well and keep drifting.
I'm just fully focused here on the grass chap. They have a corner with 30 seconds of injury time left, so probably fair to say it's now or never.
The Forest Sheffield United game has opened up so open.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm actually thinking, should I pull the trigger on that, both teams to score, just even a small stakes, because there hasn't been any real clear-cut opportunities, but both sides look threatening going forward. There's been a couple of corners, so.
What's the odds difference between over 1.5 and both teams to score?
Is that a question, as in to guess or to guess?
No. I was just asking if you knew.
Oh, sorry, no, I don't know. Sorry, I've been.
If you do want to guess, I can look it up.
No, go on.
Putting yourself on the spot.
Anyway, so.
13-8 for over 1.5 goals, and both teams to score is 3-1. So there is quite a difference there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to give it 5 more minutes, and then if it's still as open, I'll pull the trigger. There hasn't been any bad tackles by Morgan Gibbs White, unfortunately.
So yeah, the grass chap game finished 0-0, unfortunately, and the Venlo one is it's gone into injury time 0-0 as well. So, yeah, that double is dead. The Linfield game is still 2-0, but Rangers have had a bit of possession there. Not really making much of it, or they're not getting any shots out of it. But hopefully Linfield will start taking the foot off the gas a bit as the game pushes on. Certainly, if Linfield got a third goal, you think they might relax into it a bit. So we'll see how that goes. I see that Huddersfield game has just stayed 2-0 after. I mean, that went 2-0 after about 10 minutes or something, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the 7
minutes. Yeah. Now it's 52 minutes, still just 0-0, or still just 2-0 rather.
If you'd over 2.5 back, you'd already be paying with spending that money.
You'd be starting to get nervous already as well. Even though you've plenty of time, you'd just be like, how is it not coming already?
Exactly, yeah. Frustrating here that in the Forest game, there's been another booking. So there's 4 bookings so far total in the game, but 3 for Sheffield United, and none of them are our man. So annoying that the ref is dishing out the bookings, but just our guy hasn't committed the foul yet.
I prefer it to be like this though than have none.
Yeah. So we're 1 corner. Well, myself and Slats are 1 corner away. You're 2 corners away, I'll be, and then we'll be waiting on the booking. So,
yeah, Hayashi and Hara are actually starting to link up very well at the front now for Sint-Truiden. So hopefully this is a sign that they're playing their way into it. Sint-Truiden are out to 10s now. I'm going to leave it till the hour. Oh God, 1-on-1 with the keeper now for Mechelen. Missed. I'm going to leave it till the hour mark and see how things are looking, but I wouldn't write them off in this game yet.
You wouldn't write off
Sint-Truiden coming back
and winning the game, or
yeah, I'd be tempted by. I think if they score, they could definitely win.
What odds are they for the win?
10-1 now. Just Mechelen are starting. They look like they're potentially starting to fade a bit here.
I still just have in my head that Mechelen are playing with 10 men, even though you've already confirmed that they didn't go down to 10 men. I'm just like, Jesus, 10-1 for playing against 10 men.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
So Sint-Truiden are 2-1 double chance. That probably the smarter bet. And Sal look all right. They're not really troubling the Inter keeper, but they're looking slightly better than they were before. So.
Not to harp on about it, but Shells should not be like 3-1 or 4-1 for this.
4-1 now, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely shouldn't. So.
Are Shells at home, Gary?
They're at home, yeah.
Do you know, I might do a Shells Sevilla double.
That's what you did that, Gary, didn't you?
I did the Shells Sevilla double, yeah.
It's
so
13-1 now.
Just over 10-1 at half time, so.
Yeah, I'll just pull the trigger on that too.
Yeah, every time I look down, Shells are on the attack. I haven't really seen Derry in the second half, so it's 7 minutes into the second half. Now, bearing in mind I've kind of been flicking between some games, but I haven't seen Derry in the Shells half in the first 7 minutes of this second half. So
I was thinking for your bet, LB, the fact that they're down 1-0 is probably a good thing because they're not going to like sub off their main striker, you know, when they're losing the match. Like they're definitely going to keep him on for the 90 minutes. So it will certainly still be in the mix for that one for the entire game. I think that's always the worry with player bets is just that if they don't do what you need them to do in the first half, you know, they could be getting subbed off in the second. And I don't know about this yellow card, Gary. Do you think what's his name, White, is likely to play the 90 or?
Yeah, I think so. He'd be one of their best players, be one of their flair players, so I can't see them taking him off. And he's kind of playing in a little bit of an attacking midfield role. And the striker, Billy Sharp. I mean, Billy Sharp must be bordering on 40. He's definitely late 30s anyway. So you'd expect him to go first if anybody's gone. Just an update, there was that corner that we needed. So
hold on a second.
Just stay like
hold
that
on a second.
We don't need any more corners.
But you actually mentioned it. There was part of my logic. I probably should have put it in the article. Sint-Truiden don't play another game for I had to check the dates there. They don't play another game until the 13th of March, and they only play 2 more games in the rest of the month.
Oh, yeah.
So between now and the 2nd of April, they play twice. So I mean, pretty needless of the manager to be taking players
off. That's true. Yeah, well, actually, yeah.
So
is that another corner maybe? Yeah, it's still 2-0 to Linfield. Still just waiting on that Carrick Rangers goal. But they've had a few attacks, but again, they haven't really created enough that you'd be saying like they're looking likely to score here. I would be starting to worry now. But
3-0 Inter.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Hat-trick for Martinez. So Dzeko was running down the wing like a big giraffe and he squared the ball and Martinez got in and really well played by the two of them, in fairness. Martinez just kind of hanging off the back of the centre-back shoulder and then just got in front of him at the last minute and just rifled it in. Straight, it looks like it went straight over the keeper's head. There's Dzeko there, all 8 foot tall of him. It was a lovely ball.
That's a decent ball, Jesus, yeah.
And no keeper stopping that. So a really good goal by Inter. Dzeko rediscovering his form as a winger. Hara.
Sorry, LB. So no need for you to stress because that corner is in as well. So it's up to 12 corners.
What's your cash out now, then, Gary?
It's actually gone down to 55 quid, which is a bit odd, but it's annoying because Gibbs White had, if he was really petulant, we'd have the bet in the bag because he went into this kind of 50-50 challenge, and the two of them shouldered each other, but he kind of lost out on it. And just as the Forest player was getting away from him, you could see he thought, will I take him down? And then just left him off. But if he had hacked him down, it was a definite yellow and the bet would have been in. So
as the game goes on, he might be more and more tempted to take those hacks if they.
That's it. Or you want that same player to do the same again and kind of get him riled up, like, you know, that way.
Yeah.
Just keep frustrating him, and eventually he's going to kick out.
Like, still 32 minutes left. As I said, I don't expect him to be taken off. But obviously, you can't guarantee that. But it's just nice to be sitting on just that booking now for 760 quid. So
I think for James's bet, if Dzeko wants to score, I think, you know, Martinez now with his hat-trick, and Inter have a pretty hectic schedule, if I remember right, over the coming weeks. They might take Martinez off. Let me check their schedule to make sure of that.
Just while you're checking, I was just looking. So really, like, Linfield are going to win this match. All we need is the both teams to score part. So both teams to score is now 12-5.
1-1, but not Hara. So Sint-Truiden, we call that, to hit 12-1. I didn't actually get on it, but they're equalised there. With what's there, half an hour left, I think they're going to win this game now.
Yeah, well, that is promising, like that. That they've been going at it and kind of got the reward from it, and probably have a bit of momentum now as well to go with that. So.
What's good is their centre forward. He's after taking his jersey off to show some pro-Ukrainian message, and he got booked for it. And
really?
Went up and shook hands with the ref, so I think he knew it was going to happen. So if anyone's getting subbed off, it's going to be him.
It'll be yellow card,
and not one of our guys. So, yeah, 1-1 there. They're into 11-4. That's actually still a good price, to be quite honest. 3-1 now. And the double chance that we said was 2-1 is 1-3. So, looking good. I hope Klaus comes off now, to be honest.
Gibbs White has just gave the referee a bit of verbal there in the Sheffield United match, so hopefully the ref is taking note.
Yeah.
Just like the harshest yellow ever. He just like says two words to the ref, and the ref is like, "Screw you."
The ref gave a soft free, and you know, when a player runs like 10-15 yards to give out to the ref, he did that. So over the ref is just like, right,
are we just missing? Is that all we're missing? Is that yellow card?
Yeah. And that's what, like 70-1, or even if anybody watching today backed it, they would have been getting at least 60-1.
Yeah, so mine was 75.
Got it wrong, like LB, and did more corners, they would have got 75-1. So,
God, all of a sudden I don't care so much about this Belgian game. I just want to watch this guy get booked. Salah really.
You'll hear the yelp out of me anyway. So
there was a lull in the game in the Serie A, and the Salah manager pulled everyone over to the side. Well, not everyone, but a few guys over to the side and gave him a bit of a pep talk. So they're kind of going for it again. I'm not sure who he is. The number 21 looks like he's a left winger for Sal. He ran over the end line and then just pretended he got hit in the face and threw himself on the ground to save a bit of embarrassment. But it's backfired now because they're focused in on him. But yeah, the both teams to score there is looking good. Or looking potential, sorry. Not good yet. Just kicked off in Spain. Nothing has happened. So
yeah, I need you to keep me updated with that one in Spain, because the Shelbourne match and the Sheffield United Forest match are getting way too interested for me to be flicking around the other games. So keep me updated with how Sevilla are getting on, please.
Yeah. Sint-Truiden are all over Mechelen here. Really, really fired up by that equaliser. So hopefully someone got on that 10-1.
I got the fright of my life there. I was looking down. There was a player down injured in the Shell's box, a Derry player, and I thought it might have been a penalty, but he just got the ball in the face. So thankfully not. There's nothing worse than the stress when you're not looking at something and then you just look back and you're like, what has happened?
Yeah.
Carrick Rangers on a bit of an attack here. Shot on target, which is their first of the half, I think, 20 minutes in. So hopefully that's, hopefully they're kind of kicking on, going for broke now, 2-0 down. Nothing to lose. They might as well, try and get in the score sheet at least. So yeah, 20. What have we left? 65 minutes. We've 25 to go. For
I thought you were 65 minutes left. I thought, that's loads of time.
Yeah, 25 for a Carrick Rangers goal. So hopefully that'll come in. It was looking so good with Linfield scoring about 3 minutes into the game, but it's starting to look a little risky now. But
when it's a really early goal, I usually want it to be the other team.
Oh, absolutely. I would have been delighted with that, but I was just happy enough. But I was saying at the time, because there was a bit of risk or a bit of uncertainty around Linfield's performance because they had to postpone the game last week due to COVID, you'd be a bit concerned about it. But so I was kind of happy enough for them to get in the score sheet. But yeah, you'd always be hoping for the underdog to score first, really.
Yeah. It was really funny. Well, it's not funny, I suppose, but our guy Hara got a good counter attack for Sint-Truiden. They were still only around the halfway line, so a long way to go, but they were breaking, and Hara got pulled down, and his countrymen went bananas and just straight over to the ref. But they're playing really well off each other, the two Japanese centre forwards. So I'm still confident in this one now, and 25 minutes to go.
That's good, and yeah, because we've that bet builder, such a big bet going on in the Sheffield United Forest game. I kind of keep forgetting that we also want that to finish a draw for the ACA. But 0-0 going into 66 minutes there.
Oh, Dzeko scored! Congratulations, James.
Lovely. Is that all he was waiting on?
Yeah. Oh, no, he needs 3 more corners.
3 more inter corners, is it?
Yeah.
Class. Loads of time for that.
That's another really nice goal. I mean, a Salah definitely Serie B bound, but
he's in there with a "Let's go Dzeko" and a fire emoji in the comments. Or fair play, James.
Yeah, really nice. I don't know, was it just because he got his hat trick? But now they've completely swapped it up. Martinez is playing out on the left now, and Dzeko's playing. I mean, that's where Dzeko should be. You just stand on the penalty spot, nice ball in, just tap it in. Yeah,
easy.
Side footer into a nearly open goal from 5 yards out. So pretty. Actually, no, that's not true. You had to put it past 2 players. Really nice goal though.
With the keeper at the front post, most of the goal was empty there.
Yeah, Salah looked like they've given up here. So
3 more corners. Did James tell us what the odds on that was?
11-2 for the ACA.
Nice.
Just saying, imagine they don't get 3 more corners. We had that stress ourselves with Nottingham Forest.
It looks like Salernitana have kind of given up on this one, to be honest. So if that happens, I could see the corners coming in. They'll just be kind of camped in around their own box. So touch wood that it works for you, James. Oh, microphone gone. Oh, Klaus has been taken off as well for Sint-Truiden. What a result. I knew we'd get taken off with his needless yellow card.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the 2 guys are going to be up in the box here together for the rest of this game now.
That's nice now. Fingers crossed our boy can get a goal. The only thing is, I didn't.
Oh yes, Gary Carrick Rangers scored.
Oh, nice one!
Brilliant, 2-1. Just blow it up now, Rod. This is great. Yeah, 2-1 Linfield. So basically, just want the game to end. Carrick had seemed like I was saying they got up and got their first shot on target at the half. It looked like they were pushing on a bit. I was also saying our risk here was Carrick not scoring, that I wasn't worried about them, going on to draw or win the game. But now that they're only 2-1 down, I would like another Linfield goal just to give us a bit more comfort. I think I said at the start I was kind of feeling like it'd be about 3-1 to Linfield full time. So hopefully it does go that way. Or else we just have 20 minutes of hoping that Rangers don't score again. But looking very good there now. Linfield are 1-11 for the win, and that's all we need to hold on. So, very happy with that. And
that's class. A goal in Belgium for it's Hara, isn't it? Or is it? I thought it was
Hara. Yeah.
I looked at it last night. I was like, what?
I know. Every time I say it, it sounds like O'Hara, but.
And there's actually another one today. I was looking at Laurie's or Enzo's Serie A, and he had a Okepe or something like that, and I thought it was an Irish guy as well. But then he was like the Nigerian striker. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Just an update on the Sheffield United and Forest game. The Sheffield United just made a double substitution, and Gibbs White wasn't one of them, so they took off 2 of their
right.
kind of more deeper lying centre midfielders. So yeah, hopefully.
Do you reckon they're going for this?
They are, yeah. They seem to be. I said it's actually been really, really open. I think it's too late now to back the both teams to score, but both teams are really, really going for it. Gibbs White seems. Oh, goal, Sheffield United.
Lovely. Well, actually, no.
Lovely.
No, sorry. Usually goals are good.
Billy
Almost
Sharp.
always
I
goals
said
are
he was
good.
about 40. He's it's actually a really, really nice header, and Gibbs White set it up. So he was out. He got moved from kind of central behind the striker out to the right wing, and he swung a really, really nice ball into the back post, and Sharp headed it back across the keeper. Went in off the post on the far side. Nothing the keeper could do about it. So yeah, I'm actually pretty good that I didn't get on that both teams to score now. Hopefully people watching in did, because Forest have probably been the best team overall. So still 20 minutes for them to get that equaliser. I suppose this probably adds to Gibbs White maybe sticking a few more tackles because they're defending the lead now. So yeah, it could work out well all round.
Oh, is that Zeko again?
Yeah, second for Zeko. So 5-0 Inter.
Yeah.
At 1-8, it begins to look like a very solid 12% return for somebody.
I know. Yeah, when you compare it to like your savings account with the bank or whatever, like that 12% within an hour and a half.
It wasn't from a corner, was it?
No, unfortunately not. No, they're still on the 7 corners.
My prediction that Salvo throwing the towel is completely wrong. They've actually had the ball nearly the entire time since I said that, and just lost it just inside the Inter half, and Inter broke. Very nicely done. Dumfries was in the box there for that as well, so he's getting in there. He's just not getting on the end of these shots. This is under VAR review now for potential offside.
I think it's the pass just inside the half, is it, rather than the actual pass to...
No, he's giving it.
Zeko. Oh, he's giving it, yeah.
Speaking of Billy Sharp, Zeko must be at the top end of his 30s as well. Let me check him here. 35. There's nothing going on in Belgium. There's been an injury to the Mechelen keeper. It's just been at least 3 minutes now of nothing happening. And Hara's over getting some advice off the coach. So good sign that he's going to be heavily involved in the last 20 minutes.
Gary, for the draw in the Sheffield United Forest game, I take it you would have been happier with Forest going up 1-0. I mean, it looks like with Sheffield United going up 1-0.
On the balance of play, yes. But the stat I missed in the analysis I did, and they just brought up on screen, Sheffield United haven't conceded in their last 7 home games. So that's a bit of a...
so they're due to concede one.
Yeah, exactly. I like on the balance of play today, I think that Forest will equalise. But as I said, that is a little bit of a worry if you're going to plough in. So
I think if one of the two could come in now, I'd be hoping for the Hara goal and be waiting on the Forest equaliser.
Yeah. There can be some amount of added time here in Belgium, though. It's been over 4 minutes of that stoppage just for that one alone.
Yeah, and the red card as well, of course.
Yeah, the red card in the first half definitely going to add.
That wasn't given. It's still 2-1 to Linfield, by the way, just to keep updated on that. I'm kind of just hoping that there's no action, and there doesn't look to have been a whole lot of action. Linfield just done offside there. I'm kind of hoping that they get a third just to put any doubt of a Carrick Rangers comeback. But it's gone 75 minutes, still 15 to go. And yeah, we just want that one to end so we can focus on the other two. But hopefully Linfield can score a third there, or at least hang on for us. Rangers on another attack here, but I don't think it's come to anything, so we're okay for now.
Inter haven't had a corner.
Oh my God. A glorious chance for Forest there, going to beg him. Really, really good move. It's one of those where there's probably about 20 passes in the build-up, went right across the midfield out to the right-hand side, and then come back to the left-hand side. I can't see who it was. He got on the ball, took it around 2 players, and then just shanked it out wide instead of going across the keeper with a shot. So it was Zimmerman, I think. So yeah, he definitely should have worked the keeper there, but yeah, I say not Forest are still on top here. So that's if you're going for the draw to in a single, I wouldn't put you off it. Like,
no, I wasn't really looking at it for a single, just more for our treble.
yeah.
That we need that draw to come in. But yeah, definitely good to see Forest, going at it, and hopefully they can get on the score sheet. And hopefully so can Hara in the Belgium game.
Amazed that Inter haven't had another corner since. A lot of playing around the box here. Goal kick, I think, is it?
Throw in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, it was hard. He surely was fouled. No. Sint-Truiden haven't drifted at all in that amount of time. They're still 11-4. Dangerous free kick here. This is good.
They have kind of had the momentum though since that, haven't they? Like
15 minutes gone. Like half the time.
A long time for that to change. Yeah, half the remaining time.
That's like. Oh, I was looking down thinking it could be good 5 or 6 to 1 now. I'll get on. But they've gone in. Dzeko's just been taken off, so very good timing, James, with those goals. Well, I know you only needed 1, but suppose now that he's close to pensionable age, he's not going to be playing the 90 minutes.
Unfortunately, Shelbourne just conceded.
Oh no.
It's kind of against, like, overall on the balance of the match, it's against the run of play. But in the last 5 minutes, it looks like they were getting tired. Derry had a corner, got cleared, and then on the second ball in, there was a guy free, had a one-on-one header with the keeper. Keeper made a great save, but it just rebounded back and he tapped it in. So I think it's unlucky for Shells, but it's hard to see a way back for them now, being 1-0 down. But 18 minutes left.
I backed both teams to score in that game, so I'm probably not as good as you are about it, but I equally hope as you do that they come back and equalise. I
think I did that. I did that.
I'm definitely
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you had done it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, 2-1, wasn't it, at the start?
Yeah, just those exchange bets. You don't see them. I don't usually sit in the exchange or go back to the sports.
I'm the same. Yeah, you just get better stats and information in the sports book.
It's always surprising me how different Betfair and the Betfair exchange are for usability.
It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly like either, but the differences between them, you would just think it's exactly the same thing, just one's the exchange and one's the sport book. They're so different. I think it must be intentional by them to create those differences to distinguish between the two and let people know which they're on. But I always go back to the sports book.
I agree. Harris had so many nearly chances to shoot and he's not pulling the trigger, so hopefully the coach was giving him that little chat to tell him to just take his chances.
Do better.
Score.
Jeez, I see there's like 15 goals now in that Sheffield United game. Like I know you went for one more than us.
15 corners. Is that 15
corners?
What did I say?
Goals.
Goals.
What match am I not watching? Might have been 15 goals.
Yeah, corners. Sorry about that. 15 corners. We only needed 11. So yeah, because we've spoken about that corners market before, that it has the line, but it drastically increases and decreases the either side of that, doesn't it?
To be honest, if I was going to get more into backing corners, and I'm not like you, Gary, I don't do it that often, I'd be tempted to do, under 7 and over 14 in every game.
Yeah.
I feel like the average of around 10, it's never near 10. It usually gets like absolutely battered or just doesn't get close.
It feels that way. I'd love to. Like, we should look into that.
Penalty. Please be a penalty. There he is. No, you're not giving it.
I thought that little thumbs up, I guess it was for, good ball.
Look at this replay. He completely cleans him out. Like,
it's only that he's actually kicked the ball away. Like, you know,
if
that
you
he
get
got
someone outside the box, it's a free.
Or if he had failed to connect with the ball, it was
Yeah.
a penalty, no doubt. Like, it's only that he managed to connect to the ball before the.
If I was Sint-Truiden now, we'd take my time with this corner. Hope VAR get involved. I do a fake corner. Love it.
Still 2-1 Linfield with 9 minutes left on the clock. So, yeah, we're still looking good there for now.
The
Corner to
first
Stag
game
here.
is absolutely rank. And I glanced the way I was looking at the Shells game, and I looked back to the Forest game, and they're making a substitution. And because it's so rank, I thought they were subbing their keeper. I was like,
oh, there you go for Salernitana. Another corner for them. James, you're in on Facebook. You might cash out 80 minutes. I don't usually cash out, and I know, Gary, you're probably the same, but I'm not getting a feeling that Inter are going to have a lot of chances at corners from here now.
No.
And even the way the game has gone, Salernitana are really kind of pushing for an equaliser. A magic 5-goal equaliser. They're pushing for a consolation goal. And that doesn't really lend itself to Inter getting a corner. They're kind of, any Inter chance now has been on the break. That Dzeko goal came on the break. So,
yeah, it nearly feels as likely that Inter would get 3 more goals as they would get 3 more corners.
So, what percentage-wise, James, what are you looking at there with the cash out? Sevilla single looking very tempting. Yeah, that is true. What's that, 60-something minutes at the minute?
Jeez, I haven't looked at the stats in that in ages. I mean, we haven't been watching it.
I might have to do it to save my night if Gibbs White doesn't get carded or Forest don't equalise.
10 shots each, 3 on target. Each 7 on target for Alaves, 6
off target for, yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, here we go. This could be a corner. No, lost the ball.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell you to cash out, but I wouldn't talk you out of it either.
It'd have to be one of those situations where they get a corner and swing it in and it just goes straight out for another corner.
That is the good thing about corners. They do come in clusters.
You're only waiting on one then.
This Gibbs White fella want to get his act together, well, or lose his rag a bit and just get booked.
Yes, he's playing right wing at the minute. But Forest just aren't getting the ball out to their left wingers, or left winger. So I think there's a possibility. But
Mechelen should have scored. This is some missed chance. Oh, the ball.
Oh. Gibbs White went into a challenge there, and there was a little bit of a flail and elbow. But the Forest player.
Do we have any card? Like, if you got a straight red, like with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's any card that I back.
Oh, corner, is it? It has to be a corner. There's no way. I mean, how bad do you have to be?
He's walking away from the box.
I know he's got a hat trick, and I'm going to sound like an idiot. He's some overrated player, Martinez.
It's probably not the night to be saying it, all right.
Watch this. Look at the chance here.
Oh my God. That's shocking. I mean, it's certainly not a corner.
He was just outside the 6-yard box, maybe 7 yards from goal, and I'd say he put it 15 yards over the bar. I'm not even
and wide.
Yeah. I don't know how you could get those angles to make sense.
It just came off.
What I was hoping, that surely was going to be a corner. If he hit it anywhere remotely near the target.
For it to go that far away from the goal, it looked like it had to have taken a deflection.
Mechelen kind of on the attack here again. They're really blossoming late in this one.
God, it'll be extra sick if the Linfield game, which is still 2-1, comes off and should have been part of our 20-1 treble last week, and then we don't get our treble this week, but the other 2 legs did come off last week. Like, that will just be a sickener. But it's 86th minute here. It's still 2-1 Linfield. So we're still looking good on that game at least. And yeah, I mean, we're obviously still waiting for the Forest equaliser and the Hara goal for this week's treble. But yeah, Carrick Rangers had another shot just there, but they haven't had much really since they got one back in this game. They haven't had a whole lot. So I think we're still looking good there. 4 minutes left.
Yeah. The good news in the Sheffield United match, as I kind of predicted, Billy Sharp is going off after scoring his goal. So that'll mean that Gibbs White plays the last 7 minutes.
Oh yeah, we have him locked in at least.
Fingers crossed he makes an out-touching foul in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's good that we still have that. I mean, like that's obviously looking more likely now than our standard ACCA to come off. We need a bit more for the ACCA to come in than just the yellow card. So at least we have that, and we have that until full time as well. Is good, yeah.
Yeah, it's just I wish they would play the ball a bit more in his area, you know.
Yeah. Xavier Jimenez is on. Missed your comment, not sure when you sent it. Sint-Truiden Mechelen. So yeah, 1-1 at the minute still. 5 minutes to go. For most of the second half, I thought Sint-Truiden would probably win. Last 5 minutes since about the 80 mark, it's been all Mechelen. So kind of a tough one to call here. But it'll be at least 5 minutes added on. So yeah, that's the status there.
Any sign, Gary, of Shelbourne getting an equaliser?
They've livened back up. I said they just had a 5-minute spell in the game where they kind of set back, but they've been kind of all-out attack there in the last couple of minutes. They're not getting any clear-cut opportunities, but they've got most of the ball. So still a chance. I wouldn't write them off completely.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm not looking to back them, but just have the
for both teams to score. Yeah.
Murder, so.
But I would write them off for a win completely. But yeah, to get back.
Yeah.
Dave Devon has just made an unbelievable tackle at the halfway line there. Just one of those you have to time perfectly. He won the ball and Shells went on the attack, but absolutely class tackle.
I don't know, LB, if you've been keeping an eye on, but Waterford went from a 2-0 halftime lead to 2-2 away to Galway now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's currently suspended. So I don't know, is there going to be a bit of late action here because it's the 86th minute there as well. But yeah, they threw away a 2-0 halftime lead. So unless there's something going on here that they can get a winner.
So we avoided a bullet there.
We did have to avoid it. It's actually a red card for Waterford. So yeah.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Go on to win that one. If anything, it would go the other way.
James is in saying he cashed out of his bet, so.
Oh, cool. Well, at least we can, cheer for no more corners instead of hoping that there's going to be 3 because there hasn't been another one.
Well, there's been 3 corners, but they've all been for Salernitana. I mean, looking at the numbers you put out there, James, 20 on, win 68, and instead of 130, that's definitely the right move there. I mean, you're getting a nearly a
that's a great cash out.
Yeah, definitely take that. At this stage here, I can't see unless they go to the corner, but even at 5-0 would even bother going to the corner.
No, they wouldn't. No. No, the only likelihood of the 3 is like we were saying, if they somehow get one and then that one leads to another or leads to 2 more directly from the corner. But I feel it's more likely for there to be no more inter corners than for there to be 3 more.
Yeah.
I think in the Sheffield United match, the ref has booked a player twice but not sent them off.
Really?
Yeah. I saw him get a yellow card in the first half, but it wasn't on Betfair. But it's on live score, so Reece Norrington Davis is your man's name for Sheffield United. Like live score, I have it down as being the 32nd minute. I remember the ref showing him a yellow card, and he's just fouled the player again and got another yellow card. And
inter corner
hasn't been sent
I'm looking on Bet365, Gary, and there's a B Davies got booked on the 51st minute, and then Norrington Davies on the 87th.
I'm sorry to tell you this, James. Inter just got a corner straight out for a second corner.
No way.
So we've had 9 now.
It did. Jesus.
So I hope to God they don't get another one.
Oh no.
That's the second one. There. So
oh, sorry. Awesome. That's right. That's the second one.
Sorry to tell you this, James. They've just had what we were worried they would have.
one corner leading to...
Yeah. So they had none for 25 minutes, and then they've had 3 within the space of 2 minutes. Well, look, you won 68 quid. Take that. It's definitely better than losing 20. But now it's been 10 inter corners.
That's sick.
Yeah, great bet builder, though. Fair play to you for putting those marks together. Around like 60 minutes, it was looking pretty...
God, cash outs were such a bastard.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely was the right call to cash out. I was surprised. Like, when he was talking about cashing out, I thought it was going to be a little over.
I thought you'd be getting your stake
like,
back. Yeah, so I thought you'd be getting...
And I still, would have been going with that. And to be getting 70 quid off it, definitely, I think was the right call. But, Jesus, 3 corners in the space of, what, a minute
Less
and a
than
half?
2 minutes, yeah.
And it is what we said, like, that if they do get one, it could lead to more from it directly. But that's a signal. This Linfield game seems to... Fair enough, I've only really been watching the animated stats, but somehow there's 6 minutes injury time.
R.I.P. That's the comment in, James. Yeah, I know how that feels, but I think it's a lot worse if you let it go and then you lose. So, it depends on the situation, but I definitely think that that was the right call. But it was 25 minutes where there was not one indication that they were going to have a corner.
No, it didn't. It wasn't look like they got one, but it didn't look like 2 more were coming. Like, they just hadn't got anything close to it.
I'd feel worse if I'd let that go because you'd be kicking yourself saying, I knew they weren't going to have one. So,
no, that's just bad.
Yeah, cash outs can be. Another sub for Sint-Truiden, Hayashi has gone off. So I think I said to the two of you guys that I was kind of between which of the forwards to do for the goal, and 50-50 between Hara and Hayashi. So I think I've made the right call there at least, and that he's the only one still on the pitch of those guys who started. So
what's the injury time in that looking like?
5 minutes, which is very, very low, considering the red card that didn't happen. But the way it's going though, it's been all Mechelen really since about 80 minutes. So I kind of lost confidence.
5 minutes added on in the Sheffield United game. But again, the stat has just come up on screen that Forest have had 7 90-plus minute goals this season. So
what?
Yeah,
790 first minute, or is that
90 plus on a 90
plus injury time?
Later.
Yeah, 7. Oh my god, you'd feel like it's 14-1 for the draw. Now that stat would make me want to back that.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is on the exchange, because it's those sort of markets where the exchange can just be, it could be 14-1 versus like 30-1.
Let me check it here. Do you have it open, the exchange?
I don't.
Let me check.
It's probably going to do me, wrong now and just be exactly the same. Yeah, it is actually exactly the same. It's 13-1 for the draw. So. God, it's so rare that you see the exchange even slightly worse than a bookie's odds. I don't get that at all. But some stat all the same.
The Inter game is over now, so those corners came so late. That is an absolute kick in the...
That's so shit.
Hard luck. Well, look, you won anyway, so take that. What do you reckon, Gary? Any chance of this yellow card for MGW?
So he had the ball there in the corner, and it looked like, if the ball got nicked off him, he might pull someone back. But they let him out of the corner really, really easy. So there's 2.5 minutes left. He needs to do something very, very cynical to go in the book. Although the ref has just booked McBurney, who come on.
Everyone.
So Forest had a free kick and they were looking to take it, and McBurney walked over and just tipped the ball away, and he's got booked. So pity Gibbs White didn't do something like that,
Long throw in for Sint-Truiden, threw it from the sideline right into the box, and it fell nicely for Hara. I thought he was going to shoot, and he just set it up for another guy who won a corner. So it's another corner here, but Hara's not the tallest, so I don't think he's going to be getting any first balls from these corners. Oh, unless they play it short like that. Go on. Oh,
was that him?
That's him, yeah.
Oh my god. It was from a distance, but not a bad effort.
No.
We're over the 6 minutes injury time in Linfield Carrick Rangers, and Carrick Rangers are on an attack here. No, yeah, it's gone full time. So one leg in at least. Linfield winning 2-1 there. So we had Linfield to win and both teams to score. That's come in. But yeah, we're not looking likely, I guess.
No, game over, I'd say. Yeah. No, so that was unfortunate. That Belgian match has ended. So I think we're all in on
15
it.
seconds left here in Forest game, and Forest have a corner, so could they pull it off? Camera's going on the keeper, seeing is he going to come up?
Oh.
He gives white handball would be nice.
Yeah.
I actually feel bad for Brennan Johnson if go
Nice.
Forest goal.
Forest goal, yeah.
Fucking hell, 14-1. How am I not on that?
Would you look at it? What I had on the screen, I actually put it in. It didn't get matched.
Oh my
I put
God.
it in for the draw. It went to 23, and I put it in at 25s, and it didn't get matched.
Oh my
Oh my god.
And I looked down, and it went 101. I was like, this is not good.
That stat was just like too perfect.
The
So it's actually just that Harrod goal has just let us down then. The 2 out of 3. I think the worst we've done since Christmas is 2 out of 3. Yeah.
Great header.
That's crazy, guy.
But it like how have we missed out on the 4-1 both teams to score in the second half and 22-1 for the draw?
Yeah, that's actually painful.
That Belgium game is over, is it?
Yeah,
that's annoying. And you were even talking about, you mentioned as well, you didn't fancy backing the result. You would have gone for the draw.
Draw was the call in that game. It was too hard to back it. That's really frustrating. The draw was even bigger odds. It was 23-10, I think. So we actually should have done that.
That's mad, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? I mean, overall, I think we did, pretty okay there.
Yeah.
I mean, disappointing, obviously, but
personally, I did not do okay. But I think we got about 8 out of 10 or 8 out of 12 or so calls right.
Yeah, financially, we should have done much better.
Yeah,
but theoretically, we spoke about the right things happening for 90% of it.
PK's commented in with a sick face and Hara. Yep, that's exactly how I feel.
Jesus, that Forest equaliser was basically the last shot of the game, Gary, was it?
No, they're still playing here. On my screen, I'm probably a little bit behind because I'm on Sky Go, but there was a little bit of a show for a penalty there for Sheffield United in 96 and 10 seconds.
So they'll play. What injury time is on the game?
5 minutes, so they're over it.
They're over that, but they'll play a bit extra.
Substitution, and then there was kind of a minute or two of a celebration. So
just the injury time.
Yeah.
Okay, the ref's just blowing it up there.
Oh God! So Morgan White, yellow card, Hara goal,
yeah.
We're so close,
and like that's not just like 3-1 shots. Like they're big paydays would have come in.
Yeah. So I think that's 2 out of 3 is the worst we've done since Christmas.
A long time.
Any of them,
I think even well before Christmas.
Yeah.
But sure, Gary, you've been on such a run of getting yours right. It's either myself or LB getting it right every week.
3 of us in its last.
Like not to be big headed, but I don't think my bet has let us down in about 7 weeks. Like, and
that's at least that. At least that, yeah.
Decent odds. So yeah, on a nice run of it, but it would have been nicer for us to be winning. Like,
yeah,
big time, yeah.
Right, look, we can wrap it up there, I suppose. Bit disappointed at the end, but yeah, pretty good show overall. James, you were knocking on the door there of another giveaway, but unlucky Hara didn't do the business. But you seem to take a few wins yourself in the comments, so fair play to you. And we'll be what's next week? The 11th of March. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we will be taking a break on the
Are we?
because we'll be going on the piss for Cheltenham, but next week.
Yeah. So you're not around next week, that's what
I won't be here.
Will be.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the same time next week. Make sure to head over to sportsrundown.com. We've got articles up there from ourselves and plenty of other league-specific experts. So hopefully you made a bit of money, and we will see you at the same time next week.
Nice
Yeah,
one.
cheers, guys.
See you then. Or